Hello everybody, Eddie Hates Basketball here. Obviously I'm kidding. I absolutely love basketball. One of my favorite sports ever. Probably my favorite sport for the past decade or so. When I was younger it was more football. Every playoff season I watched the Dodgers, but not really actively during the season. Although I did go to a few regular season games in the past couple years whenever I'm in LA for the summer. So technically, I'm part of the team at this point. Just saying. I've been to one Lakers game. I might touch on that later. That was very fun. And I went to like 2 quarters of a preseason Seahawks game as a kid. So that's something, I guess. But basketball has always been my love. The love of my life. It's such a fun sport. It's such a personable sport. You really get to know the players. They're not hidden under a helmet or something. It's smaller teams, so it's really personality based. So the storylines are great. Not to say they aren't in other sports, but it's just also a fun, fast-paced sport, back and forth to watch. It's cool. With that being said, I also really like animation in movies, animated movies. So an animated movie about basketball, produced by Stephen Wardell Curry, to be exact. Ooh, boy was I hyped. Yeah, that's really all I knew about this movie going in. I think I watched a trailer for it on the reaction channel, and that was a selling point. And I knew it was Sony Pictures Animation, who we all know from things like Spider-Verse and K-Pop Demon Hunters, which I think I'll also touch on later. But yeah, this is a movie following that anthropomorphic animated trend that Sing and Zootopia have set in the past, where it's, okay, we're going to send these messages through various things with our animals in a specific kind of 3D style. And in this case, we do it through basketball. Actually, it's called Roarball in this movie. But basically, we got a kid named Will. He looks up to a Roarball player and goes, I'm going to be that someday. And then it's just like real life. A kid playing basketball and then he gets to the pros. But it happens very differently here. Just watch the movie. This is a Yap Fest version of a review. I haven't actually written anything down. I got some sources up for like specific stuff of production stuff, but this and the next review of the film Scarlet, I'm probably not going to write full-on scripts for. It's just more me yapping. So I hope you don't mind these types of things. But I'm not going to get the video out if I write a script. I just don't feel like writing one for this movie. But yeah, it's a real rags to riches thing. He's down in the dumps, can't even afford rent, but he really proves himself on the Roarball field or court and gets a chance to play for a pro team which has the undisputed GOAT, Jet Fillmore, who she is really amazing, but she hasn't won a championship yet, and that's like the big thing for her character. And yeah, there's some other team members and stuff, but I'm not going to get all into it. And yeah, what I was going to say earlier about the Lakers game thing, it's just I find it really crazy. Like, I'll watch this movie or watch a documentary or something, and the player will be like, yeah, when I was a kid and I first saw that person playing, I knew I was going to be there one day too. Look, man, exactly a year ago from now almost. It was last February. It's this February now. I get to see LeBron James for the first time. That sweaty specimen of a man on the court. I wasn't inspired to play basketball. I just realized I'm a short, fat Mexican chud. It ain't ever happening. Plus, I was already 21 at that point, so, or 22? No, I was 21. It's 2022. So it wasn't going to happen. So good for the MC that he got there. Now, while I find this movie a enjoyable watch, nothing too crazy, nothing too offensive, I do have problems with it. I'm going to try to be as non-specific as possible so I don't spoil or anything. But it really feels like I went, hey, AI, generate me a movie. Generate me a kids movie with basketball, because this is the most movie to ever movie. Not even in the sense of like, oh, it's playing it safe and doesn't try anything. It just is a thing. There are things that I do like as well, don't get me wrong, like specific cultural things or relatable things, like when Will's playing basketball and he's like, oh, for the championship, 3, 2, 1, fucking airballs this shit, and oh, suddenly fucking 5 seconds of it out of the clock. Oh my gosh. So there's moments like that are really nice, and other specific things that are pretty cool. Funny thing on the flip side of that, there's also some like really out of touch like meme stuff where it's like you can tell an old head wrote some of this, and that's besides the point. Everyone has an arc. Main character's kind of static. It's fine though. Like, it works for the type of story it is. There's one character that I would actually say is good, like really good in how their arc went, and that would be Jet. The rest are just like I said, just the most like, hey, give me a character arc sort of thing. Which is, once again, fine. Like, I don't really have much problems with these things. They're just kind of baseline, I guess. Animation-wise, like, it's very good because it is Sony Animation. And this is where I'm bringing back the Spider-Verse, K-Pop Demon Hunters things. Those movies had a specific reason to look the way they look. To be animated the way they are. To be incorporated with their styles the way they are. This movie, you could make the argument it does. Maybe I'm missing it, but I feel like it's not as justified here. Like, it looks pretty, but I'm like, why does it look this way? You know? Maybe, like, the coolness factor. I don't know, because it does... I don't even know. I don't even know. It looks good, though. It does look good. One thing I will say that I also like is the courts in the movie are different, like, terrains and stuff, which I thought was really neat. Like a jungle or something, or like a place with ice and shit. Like the final battle was actually in lava, rocks, and all these things, and it was like red colors and very like dangerous and ooh. So that was really neat. Main antagonist is just kind of getting made fun of the whole movie. That isn't. I don't take him too seriously. They don't really make him feel like a threat. Like, he does go crazy at the start of the movie, but like, I don't know. He just kind of gets memed on the whole time, which is normal, but I feel like that normally happens towards the back end of things. I don't know. Maybe I'm looking into it too much. It is literally a kid's movie, but you know, I'm just weird. And I also just didn't write a script, so I'm kind of cooked. One thing I also did like is that Steph Curry was in here, and other notable basketball players such as Kevin Love, Dwayne Wade, a lot more. I could literally just pull it up. I have the Wikipedia right here. Aisha Curry was in here. What the fuck? Oh, they had Angel Reese, Andrea Iguodala, the Martian beam headed towards Earth. They had him. Yeah, so really nice voice cast of basketball players that know how to voice act. Because if y'all have played 2K in the past, you know basketball players and voice acting generally do not mix. But we're getting there. We are getting there. 2026 is the year for basketball voice actors, damn it. One other thing that I didn't really love was how they made this big emphasis on the main character having this crazy court awareness, this court vision at the start of the movie, and then just never use that at all. Like, the actual basketball parts are just the most, like, convenient. Here's a game. It feels like they were planning to do more with each character's like things, but once they really start meshing and playing as a team and stuff, it just goes so fast. There's not too many moments where I remember like specific character, like they do one off, like, oh, this character can do this really well and this really well, but it just doesn't feel like it has the build up it needs. I don't know. That's kind of how a lot of this movie feels. It's not even a short, like a too short of a movie or anything. It just feels like once things get to like, oh, everyone's ready to play together, things just happen. I don't even know. I've seen the movie twice, and the second time was just because, you know, siblings were going to see it. You know, why not? I probably wouldn't have watched it on my own again, but I've seen it twice, and I'm still failing to grasp, like, why I have, like, it just feels, is it the pacing? When I first saw it, I wrote down that I didn't think the pacing was too bad, but now that I'm thinking about it, I'm like, maybe it's the pacing, because it just feels like, an unfinished meal, you know? Like, it feels like there's needs, like, we got the skeleton, now we need some more meat on the bones. Like I said, Joe Fillmore, I actually think it's a pretty great arc. I really like, for that sort of character, like, she almost felt like the main character in terms of arc. And I like when characters like that get vulnerable. It was a very different dynamic, because normally you get, like, a female character and a main character being the dude, and, like, she starts opening up to him, and it gets romantic, but it wasn't that. This is someone he's looked up to. Very different dynamics, so that was pretty cool. I like a lot of the actual, like I said, the cultural stuff, like the basketball-related things, the diss track stuff, that was pretty cool. And I do think the characters are, like, charming personalities. My issues with this movie are just mostly how I feel coming out of it. It's like, I think it could have been a lot better, and, you know, I just don't think it's, like, great. I don't think it's ass, per se. Like, I would make that very clear. I just think it like, once I'm going to say it again, it's a movie. It is a movie. And that's not a bad thing. That's not a bad thing, per se. You know, especially because it's a kid's movie. And before I get any, like, super strong media consumers in here that are like, just because it's a kids movie doesn't mean it has to be ass. I understand. I agree. Kids movies shouldn't be held at too different of a standard. Like, they can still be very mindful and important media for someone to watch, or like really with really good and deep things. But sometimes you need a movie. Just a movie. And there's no other kids movies out right now that I can think of. So, like, you know, as a 22-year-old, I'm watching this movie and like, oh, it's got all these problems and shit or whatever. Still had fun with it, though. And if I had fun with it, I'm sure a lot of kids will have fun with it without thinking of, like, the actual specifics and whatnot. So I think I'm just yapping here. I think there's a lot right here. It's really, unfortunately, going to use more buzzwords, but it really is just kind of execution and lack of depth that are my things. Anthropomorphic-wise, like, I think they used that good. I think a lot of that was smart. So it's not even that of like, oh, Zootopia did this before, or oh, this movie did this before. Because once again, I think this actually does a pretty good job at spinning that anthropomorphic thing, which Zootopia didn't invent, but, you know, it's kind of the gold standard, I feel, for this genre. Yeah, I think I feel really bad saying this, but I do think it is just there's no meat on the bones of the movie. That's my final kind of feeling, I guess. I think it's a world that could easily be more explored. Like, maybe that's just my issue. I wish there was just more, because for what I did see, I did like. I love the community aspect, the culture, everything. That stuff was all really cool, and it does have a big emphasis. But we just don't see enough of the world, I think. Like, we see a town in specific parts of it, and then, I don't know, things start really moving fast. So I just feel like if we flesh things out more, this could have been a lot better movie. I'm harping on the same points over and over again, though, so I'm going to probably end it here. But hey, you know, it's a non-offensive movie. Like, it's cool. Go watch it if you want. Especially if you like basketball. Like, I think it's definitely probably plus more points if you already like basketball, because of, like, I mean, the cast, voice actor wise, the kind of references to relatable moments in life and things. They have a lot of that, and just the actual gameplay, like, I think looks very nice, and the games were fun to watch. And then, like I said, I actually like a lot of the characters and like how they are. The only reason I'm really kind of making a stink about anything is because we are in a current climate where there's so much quality animation, especially in Western communities. I feel like we're really getting crazy with our animation too lately, because of course everyone's gonna meet Riot Japan, me included. China's animation's getting nuts, and of course American animation, like, we're the big dogs back in the day, right, with Walt Disney and all that shit. Like, they set the standards. But I feel like we've really been having kind of a renaissance lately in this past decade or so. And, you know, within that, you just see something like this and you're like, yeah, okay. But I think that is just a me thing because of how much media I watch and whatnot. For the person that watches, like, 3 movies a year, or the kid that only watches the kids' movies, this is going to be perfectly acceptable. So that's final verdict. Acceptable. Could have been good/great, but doesn't quite hit that mark for me. But I did have a fun time when I did watch it. Probably not going to go on my way to watch it again, though. But, you know, not too terrible. Not too terrible. And yeah, sorry for the super, like, all over the place review. I just had a few notes and then, like, the Wikipedia up to get some facts. Like I said, couldn't really be bothered to write a whole thing on this. And if I didn't record just kind of a yapping video, I probably wasn't going to put anything out. They spent $90 million on this. The box office is $51 million. That's got to update after like a weekend or something, right? Because fuck, if the budget was $80 to $90 million, they haven't even made that, which normally you want to double it, right? Oh, the running time was 100 minutes, so I guess you could have made it a bit longer, because it's like an hour and a half movie. That's not that long. And whatever, I'm over it already. I saw the shit the day it came out on Thursday. That Thursday, the February 13th or 12th, and then I saw it again during the week. So it's been a while. My thoughts on this are long gone. I'm just finally getting around to recording the video because I want to put out my Scarlet review, and I said I should probably go in order. So, sorry, Goat. You're kind of getting caught in the crosshairs here. You could have had a better video if I wasn't a bitch, but yeah. I will say though, the things that I did right I thought were pretty neat. So I wasn't trying to be too harsh on this. I gotta be honest, man. I gotta be honest. And yeah, hope you enjoyed. Probably didn't though, because I'm just kind of saying words. But I'm sorry, man. The game is the game. I'm out. Peace.